somewhere in the place where there's a daycare, known as Gongon's daycare. But deep down daycare has a lot of dark secrets. Your child went missing, but you also uncover some about some troops of the daycare.
Making new friends, running away from monsters, a lot of things happening during the lookout for your child. What's the story behind the daycare?
And in this video, we are going to share the histories in Chapter 1 of the Garden of Banban fan games, Care of Gongon.
Featuring the voice actor of Officer Claw Wayne, Cobalt B, and Medimon Zen Khaid.
In Chapter 1, there was a tape in Gongon Lara's classroom. When played, you can hear the toy car screech, screams, and other things that happens inside the tape. Listen closely. Now, as we hear in this tape, this was taken back before we went back to the daycare to find our kid. So basically, there was a car screech that was heard during the tape, and halfway, we heard a screaming from one of the workers. Then, we heard the guy activate the elevator button before going down. Speaking of elevator, after the chatterbox chase, we encounter of going inside the room and see a broken elevator. Judging about this part, the tape and the elevator incident might be connected together. So we're going to put two pieces of timeline together in this first two parts. Let's just say, partner, the elevator incident in Chatterbox's secret room has something to do with the tape. Why, you may ask? Because at the end of the tape, we can hear the button activate from the elevator and coughing in there. So the guy in the tape must have been attacked by Chatterbox before. And maybe he managed to survive before going down to the room where we got chased by Chatterbox.
In one of the room, there's a room next to Fleximan's minigame. We can't access to the room at first, but after we interacted with the tape, we can access to the room. Apparently, it's a meeting room filled with the Chapter 1 mascots we know, and below the first floor, there's a name listed under the character. Something about the name might be the owners of the mascot we seen in the mural wall. From left to right, we have Gongolara, Mrs. Laura Green, Aquaferal, Mr. Alan Fisher, Gongon, Principal Adam Adams, Lomacto, Mr. Louis Owens, Chatterbox, Mrs. Catherine Brooks. Notice that the 5 mascots have a name except for Fleximan. So, why does those 5 have a name that wasn't their name? And when I meant by their name, I meant by the original AKA, like Gongon, Gongolara, and etc. Those names below the mascot are donor names. There must be a lot of secrets about the characters, but we do not know what the stories are behind them.
Speaking of it, in Chapter 1, the main antagonist is Chatterbox and Fleximint. Chatterbox was the one who chased us during the chase scene, and Fleximint caught us up at the end of Chapter 1. In the meeting room, they mentioned in a whiteboard written by Principal Adam himself, saying that Chatterbox rather be aggressive to staff and children, so they consider of making new mascots to calm her down, which exactly was talking about Talkbox, aka Chatterbox's male counterpart, which we will discuss in the next chapter history timeline.
Also, Chatterbox's donor name is Catherine, so the donor personality might be kinda like aggressive or a bit cold-blooded type person to the staff and children, which is the reason why Chatterbox herself is the reason why she chased us in Chapter 1. But not to mention in Chapter 2, she was also threatening the parent as well, which might be the reason why she just aggressive too.
Or I would say because she saw us as strangers and chased us down in chapter 1. Might be as well the reason. Who knows?
Wait, I think we forgot someone else.
Who?
Gongon.
Oh yeah, right.
To be honest, in Chapter 1, he did appear in the cafeteria room before walking away.
Now you mention, yeah.
Goose himself did mention that Gongon lurks in the shadows stalking players.
In this game, Gongon lurks in the shadows, stalking the player.
And Gongon's donor name is Adam Adams.
We don't know much about him. Maybe he knows about what we're doing in the daycare. We will discuss him more in the future chapters of History Timeline. We will learn more about him. So in this video, the first two timeline is, there's a staff member using the car remote and he got attacked by someone. Maybe Chatterbox or Flexibit. He may be managed to survive by going down to the elevator, which I think the elevator crash incident was either because Flexibit pulled him down just like how he did at the end of chapter 1, or the elevator broke and crashed into where Chatterbox chase scene is.
Then, the names revealed in the secret room next to Flexibit's minigame. We know the donor's name, but we don't know much about the personality except Catherine. We theorize that she's a woman who is cold-blooded to staff members and children, which is also exactly Chatterbox herself, also chased us in chapter 1.
And Gongon, well, we don't know much. He just stalked us while lurking in the shadows.
For now, we will end this video of Care of Gongon History Timeline. Stay tuned for the next Care of Gongon History video.
Featuring the voice of Cloran, Cowboy B,
And the voice of Minimon Zenkai.